All right, Big Mag, welcome to the Dave Portnoy Show with Eddie and Company, presented by High Noon. Dave, you got the hat on.
It's a fire hat, right?
You've been rocking that a lot because it is a fire hat.
Yeah, it's a fire hat. And I'm going to take, High Noon is the best vodka soda. What do they call it? Hard seltzers. So here's the thing, Eddie. And I don't want to say put High Noon on the map, but I put them on the map. I saw them. I'm like, what is it? I drank it. I loved it. I loved the branding. What people don't get, and I've said it, I've screamed it, and I'm back in big time trying to get this thing, get everyone to know. A lot of people know. Like, our competitors are beer-based, malt. Put chemicals in them, change them. These guys, vodka. The other ones aren't vodka and juice. The other ones are beer-based chemicals. In fact, in certain states like New York, you can't even buy High Noon where you buy like a White Claw, for example, because White Claw is where they sell beer. High Noon's where they sell vodka. So that's why they're the best tasting ones there is. And this hat's just fire, so I wear it.
Yeah, I know people.
I'm mad, Eddie. I'm fucking mad.
I know.
I don't know how to do this happen. I'm sure you saw it. Tom Brady, like an hour ago, does his retirement announcement. 5, 6 slides. Tampa Bay Bucks this. Tampa Bay Bucks that. He doesn't mention the fucking Patriots. Not once. Now, is something else coming? Has to be. Has to be. I'm trying to keep it together, and I've heard some jamokes. Oh, he thanked the Patriots 2 years ago. He played 20 fucking 2 years or whatever with us. He played fucking 5 seconds with Tampa Bay. And even if he already fucked it up no matter what, even if something else is coming, just say thank you to the Patriots. It's not that fucking hard. Patriot fans, I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to reserve judgment because it's been such a big part of my life. What's going on, Kareem? Why is that changing? We get it. You don't have to put it up. I got tricked.
Eddie didn't see
spiraling.
it. Eddie was preparing for the show.
Yeah. I saw it. It looked real. I'm spiraling because I honestly believe he has to come give an announcement or something. And I'm trying to keep it together. But if he doesn't, if this is it, well, he will at some point. But if this is it, he's dead to me. And I'm not putting him in that category because you don't come back from that very easily. Well, generally, I don't know that I've ever deaded anybody and they've come back. But if he doesn't thank the Patriots, he'll be dead to me. I just don't know how long he has to do it. And I don't fucking care. I'll keep my Super Bowls and I'll root for my team. But he is dead to me if he doesn't do something. I don't know how long. D-E-A-D. Dead. Dead.
Yeah,
what is he doing?
It's unfortunate, Dave.
You don't thank. What if Michael Jordan retired and thanked the Bullets and never thanked the Bulls? Like, what are we doing? Like Joe Montana thanks the Chiefs and not the 49ers. Look, what are we doing? What are we doing out here? And I'm trying to keep it. This is no show. This is not Rocky. He thinks it's he doesn't know it's a damn show. He thinks it's a damn fight. Listen, Brady's done a lot. What was that? That was obvious. Does he not have something else planned? He has to, doesn't? Because that's not an oversight. That's a fuck you. 6 pages, 6 or whatever. Tampa, my teammates, the Glazer family. Shut up. What are you talking about? Just, how do you know? Something has to be coming. If it doesn't, and he shouldn't have done it this way, unless he has something so spectacular. There's hey, Dave, I'm going to tear you down and build you up, and you're just going to combust and come everywhere. It's going to be such a great, retirement thing for the Patriots and reminiscing about 2 decades of fighting battles and winning games and going to war and you name it, Deflategate, Spygate, everything. Because otherwise, he spit in our face. There's no other way to say it. It wasn't a quick thing. That was a manifesto. That was Moby Dick. He wrote 10,000 words and didn't mention anything about the Patriots. It's crazy.
You dedicated a lot of time to that guy. You fought hard for him.
I love other fans are eating it up because I would too if it's somebody I didn't like Kevin Clancy, who doesn't have anything to root for. He's one of the most miserable fucks. This is the highlight of his life. This is the highlight of his life. I get it. I would be that too. He has to be doing. And any Patriot fan who is standing by this, being like, I've seen something. He thanked us 2 years ago. Who fucking cares? He just retired from football. There's no fan worth their salt who would not be fucking wildly insulted by what he just did. He better have plan B. He's not beyond that. This is about the city. You root for Laundry. He's one of the greatest ever. He brought us a lot. You're going to spit in our face like that? Fuck you. No, you're not.
But what do you know? I mean, what have you heard since then? Does he really
Nothing. I've heard nothing. I just can't believe he wouldn't do. He's not that dumb. Even if he hated us, it's still his number one, like, fan base marketing. He's a business guy. You're going to alienate an entire area. Like, crazy. Eddie, I made a video, and it wasn't as good. I was so hot. And I started mumbling in it. I'm like, I got to go reread it. It's like, I'm going to go in the video. I just stopped. I'm like, well, let me go reread it before I post this because I must have missed a slide. I reread it. I can't believe it. I was already hot Eddie when he was in a Bucks uniform in the screen cap. I was like, geez, you're really going to put a Bucks? And then I read it, and I got angry. I'm mad. I'm legit mad. It's very insulting. I'm trying to think. There's other things like, going back to Rocky when fucking like Rocky's trained. It's a bad Rocky, but you train a guy his whole career and then he wins and he thanks the other guy. What are we doing?
Tommy Gunn. He Tommy gunned
Tommy
you.
Gunn.
You got Tommy gunned.
Anybody who's saying I'm overreacting or being a baby, they're crazy. They're crazy. It was hard enough to watch him in the Tampa.
I think I saw Kirk say, and you just brought it up too, like he's way too good of a businessman to not come out and do anything right now.
You're crazy. He has to be doing. But no matter what he did, he fucked it up. Like, even if he has something tremendous planned, he still could have just done. Patriot fans still would have been like, really? Like one line? And, I mean, it was on and on about the Bucks. On and on.
I mean, the Bucks picture is fine. Like he's retiring.
I was mad about that. Yeah,
so I think that's fine. Yeah.
Fine. All right, I don't. If Michael Jordan, well, he retired like 8 times, but like, I don't. I don't think the Bucks. And people said that's the picture he beat the Patriots. I don't know if that's true. I think it is.
That would be fucked up even more.
I think it is. It was raining in gross there.
You're hurt. You're very hurt.
I have every right to be. I have every right to be. And any Patriot fan who doesn't, you're not a real fan. You're fucking. I don't know what you are.
I'll give you
Get
this
out
too.
Of here.
You were fine with the 1-day contract, like right? Because I think I saw maybe who was it? Maybe Feidelberg or someone said I hate the 1 day or who cares? Like
no, I said I want the 10-day contract for retired Patriot. He has to be. This is. Imagine if he went in, Eddie. If he goes in as a Buck, like chooses to go in as a Buck, I will be in the front row booing the fuck out of him.
I don't think they do it like that, though.
Speech. I don't. What do you mean they don't know? You don't pick like your hat?
Yeah, it's not like baseball. I believe that's the case. They just have a bust, like you're like a gold, your face. You know.
It would be the greatest plot twist of all time if I went back to what?
What if he picks his face? Something? No, what if he picks his face from the Bucks? You know, he's had like 18 faces every year. That would be fucked up too.
Do you go into the Hall of Fame as a
I don't believe so.
No, I looked it up. You don't.
Yeah.
It's just a bust. Yeah. Head and shoulders, no caps, no helmets, no uniforms.
Yeah. So you don't got to worry about that. But you wonder. I mean, it seems like he'd go in as a Buck, Dave. That's unfortunate.
Evan Longoria is tweeting me, is trolling me.
What did he say?
Blood pressure definitely slightly elevated, though. No.
Hot out of the gate here. It's a big show too. Mattress Mac coming on later. Got some Reddit haters coming on later.
That's crazy. The Reddit haters. I'm curious to see how that goes.
Yeah. It'll be interesting.
Well, one Reddit hater. Let's not.
Yeah, one Reddit hater, and then one who's like the captain of the ship, from what I understand. He's the
of the haters.
No, one's like a hater. One is just like he's the
He's the face of Barstool Reddit.
He like runs out with the flag for the Barstool Reddit.
Oh, I didn't know we had that. This is tough. This is a tough morning. I cannot believe it.
It's bizarre. It's bizarre, but I don't know. Maybe he's. I mean, but he's also leaving them right now. Like they're fucked. The Bucks are fucked.
Cares.
I mean, I'm sure he does. It's his teammates. Fine,
Eddie. Then he can write everything he wrote about the Bucks.
But he could have a Patriots
thank
blurb.
you to the Patriots,
sure,
where I spent my entire career.
He could have a Patriots blurb for sure.
And if you don't like Belichick, thank the Patriot fans. Like, what do we? There's no way anything he did is correct. Nothing. I'm nothing. And I don't care who you are or what you've done. It's about respect.
I can't believe you said fuck him. I thought you like that deserves like a what the fuck? A fuck Tom Brady. That's pretty serious.
I'm a man. Listen. I'm a man of honor, integrity, morals, and I don't care who you are. I've never been a suck your dick guy. If you fuck up, I'm going to call you for it. And he fucked up. What? Just because he's Tom Brady, I can't call him out? No, I just called his ass out. Well, and he deserves it. Everyone will just woo-woo. Any Patriot fans who are in those comments being like, we'll miss you, Tom. Fuck you. What are you talking about? You root for Laundry first and foremost. It's where you grew up. It's your neighborhood. It's your friends. It's the memories. He just spit on us. And I hope there's something coming that I can be like, thank God. All right, that was an aberration. He did it on purpose. I hope. No matter what he did, I think he did this wrong. Because if he has something planned, fine. But he could have still. I didn't want to have to make that video.
There was a lot of discussion too over the weekend when it first happened, kind of about how important he was to the company and the rise of Barstool Sports. And I mean, what, top 5 people that never worked at the company?
Yeah, I'd have to give that more thought. I mean, you go back in time, there's a guy, Harry Conforti from the Lions group, who was critical. Aaron Boyce. These are names people may not know. They're more business people that I would not have been able to get here. Ian White. Those are 3 that are more important than Brady. Probably Jeff Hunter, even though I haven't talked to him since he sided with the Bubbly Gang. But there's 4. Nardini 5. So there's definitely more.
Yeah,
oh well,
not
worked at the company. Yeah. So Hunter and Nardini would count.
Probably Renee, right? I mean,
yep.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens.
For sure.
I mean,
for sure. I mean, my parents.
Yeah, your parents, obviously, but your dad worked here though.
True. True.
All right, so we'll keep moving. If anything comes out, just pipe up. I know you will, regardless. But
me, well, yeah. I mean, I'm waiting. I'm waiting
for something else to drop. So
I wish I didn't get tricked on that. Oh, this fucking Kevin Clancy's fucking. He's such a piece of shit.
Do you want me to go get him?
Are a piece of shit.
Do you want me to grab him or no?
Well, I know what he's going to do. I mean, what's he going to Yeah, fine, grab him. I don't fucking care. We can do a rundown. I don't give a fuck. We can do the rundown, too.
All right. We'll have someone go grab KFC.
We'll find him.
He's on his way. Besides that, how is
the only thing about it may be better for the rundown, although this thing airs today.
Yeah, this airs tonight.
Yeah, all right. Yeah. But I mean, Big Cap, maybe. I don't know. I don't fucking know.
Or we could get Hank or Feidelberg, someone else who you want to,
Oh, I already said my point. We may just have to try to do a rundown today. Okay. Because this is crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's better. This is more of a rundown topic, anyways. How's the weekend? How'd everything go? Pegasus,
you were there.
Yeah, I know.
You were there. Yeah, you were here this weekend, Eddie. So what are you talking about?
Well, we got to make sure that people understand what's going on. So,
Pegasus was fun. I won a couple races. Elio didn't win any, but it was a fun weekend. Did you have fun, Eddie?
Yeah, it was actually really fun. Pegasus was cool, and I liked 11 more than I thought I would. It was fun. I got
Yeah, you stayed there later than I did.
I did. I had to prove a point, so I waited you out, but it was a good time. Probably, I don't know. The highlight of the weekend had to be Elio wilding out in the bathroom, right?
Absolutely. You have to know Elio, know where we were. We're at a place called Poppy Steak. It's one of Dave Grutman's joints, one of the more popular places in Miami. Very scenic, great food, impossible to get a reservation. So we go, and it's myself, Elio. You weren't in yet.
No,
so it was
not yet.
myself, Elio, Jane Motion, who's a friend of ours, and Silvana. And Elio's betting hockey, and he wins, and everyone knows he takes his Hanes and rips it and goes nuts. So he didn't say anything. He just got up, went into the bathroom. Again, a very scenic, shishi, high-end, who's who type joint. And I didn't know it at the time, but Elio did his whole routine in the bathroom. He rips his shirt. He's screaming about hockey. I didn't know at the time. Some guy taps me on the shoulder. He goes, "Your buddy, what's wrong with him? He's wilding out in the bathroom." I'm like, "What?" And then I saw the video out of her. Only Mr. Ice in this bathroom at this place, ripping his Hanes shirt, screaming about the over in hockey. I had tears in my eyes.
Yeah, it was the video too. When you watch it back and you know what happened, it's very funny.
Eddie,
Your buddy's wilding out.
Eddie, you didn't bring up a video that went viral of you this weekend. The commenters are going to be a little upset.
Yeah, I would nothing wrong with throwing a couple Georges on a naked ass, right? That's what you do at 11, right? Miami went in Rome, so.
It's a strip club.
Yeah, it's like a half and half. I was fine with it too. I know people were mad at Silvana, but I said it was fine to post. It's no big deal.
Were people are mad at her for that?
She said that. She did say that at one point, but I have nothing. That's fine.
Well, she asked your permission.
Yeah,
first,
it is what it is. It's okay.
The Reddit guy's here if you guys want to talk to him.
Well, let's do this first, actually. So since we're on Pegasus and we have Mattress Mac, let's talk to Mattress Mac. But let's talk about 1-800-Flowers before we get to him, Dave.
Let's do it. And by the way, I got to get the ad in front of me, so I will. But I'll say this: the Super Bowl is the day before Valentine's Day, so it's easily the most forgettable Valentine's Day ever. It's diabolical to do that because guys can't focus on Valentine's Day till after the Super Bowl. So you hear this ad, 1-800-Flowers. Do it now, and then you're set. You won't even remember you did it, but you'll be taken care of. Let me grab the ad, though, so I know the code to give out.
I could start you up here. So there's a reason why you turn to 1-800-Flowers.com for Valentine's Day. When you need a gift that's guaranteed to wow, 1-800-Flowers has you covered with the best selection of Valentine's Day roses, mixed bouquets, gourmet treats, and more. Right now, 1-800-Flowers has an amazing offer for our listeners. Get the 18-stem Enchanted Rose Medley for $39.99 or upgrade to 24 red roses for $10 more. This is an unbelievable offer from 1-800-Flowers. I know you got some for Savannah, right?
Yeah, because, again, I know I'm going to forget. And then you're going to be the happiest guy in the world when it's I took care of business and I could enjoy the Super Bowl and get my job done here. So to order the 18-stem Enchanted Rose Medley for $39.99 or upgrade to 24 red roses for $10 more, go to 1-800-Flowers.com. Click the radio icon and enter the code Eddie. That's 1-800-Flowers.com, code Eddie. Hurry, offer expires Friday. This is just one of those, present Dave versus future Dave situations. Future Dave will thank you forever if you just pick up the phone, put in the order, you're a hero, and then you're not in the doghouse.
Eddie, EDDIE, go do that. Make sure you're good to go. Like Dave said, don't get in the doghouse. All right, let's toss it over to Mattress Mac. All right, here we are, Gulfstream Park, Pegasus, Dave Portnoy Show, Mattress Mac. Mac, welcome to the show.
Glad to be here. Honored to be on the show.
I think in a different world. Well, how old are you, Mac?
70.
70, so I'm 44, and I got Elio on the back. I think in a different world, Mac and I would have been like best friends.
Why is that?
Well, and I wasn't sure. I've learned more. He's a degenerate like I am, and the first thing we come in here, we're filming this before the championship games. He's asking me about the Chiefs-Bengals, and I can already tell the way he's talking. He likes the Bengals, and I gave him the wrong answer. He's like, who do you like? I'm like, I like the Chiefs. He just kind of looked at me like, oh, really? Like, why? And he's pressing the information. So, also, I'm on the business end now of him trying to get bets in and things like that, and his brain works how my brain works. He likes horse racing. and gambling, which are two things, and not only that, the business side of it, like the furniture stores that he opened, and he does all the philanthropy, and he's everywhere. So a lot of similarities in our life. He's ahead of me, but a lot of similarities. So I could see us. You meet certain guys like Bobby Flay's another guy. I think if our paths crossed, I'd be like best friends with him. Mac would be one of those guys, I think.
Do you feel the same way, Mac? Be
Absolutely.
honest.
And we've never met, by the way.
I love Dave.
This is the first time we met.
Okay.
So last Friday night, I was in. I had to fly to Colorado to legally bet. Now Louisiana's open right next to Houston, and I'm trying to place this big bet. And
$2 million. He wanted $2 million on the Titans.
On the Titans to win the Super Bowl, and they wouldn't give it to me. So Dave battled with him for a couple hours, and I ended up. He got where I bet $1 million, so Dave saved me $1 million.
So this is, and I say this a lot with people who don't get necessarily the pen. Like, I gamble with the sports book. People are always like, "Oh, it's not your own money." It's our own money. Trust us, it's our own. So I get Mac, and it's all public. He had the Patriots to win the Super Bowl. Well, how much was totals? Like over $6 million, right?
The Patriots was $2 million to win 46. Yeah.
Bama
with
Bama
us?
was 6.
With Bama, it was the 6. You had
6 is Bama. Yeah.
Yeah. So. Man's ice
I've been
cold,
on a losing streak, baby. That's exactly right.
Ice cold. But he's betting $2 million he lost with us in the Pats. He had $1 million on Bama, lost. And then, so to me, when I look, I'm a gambler at heart. If you place those bets and lose, and you say, all right, I want $2 million now on the Titans, we should book that bet to me. So Mac texted me at midnight. He's like, I'm trying to get this down. I get furious. And I'm talking like, how can, from a gambler perspective, I get the pen. They're like, well, if he wins, that's $18 million cash. Like that's a huge. We're running a business. I'm like, well, no offense. I'm like, we want VIPs like Mac. Yeah. You want that VIP because he knows if he can get that action down, we're good for it, and he's probably going to give it back. That's why they don't let you leave a casino. That's why they don't let me. That's how I view it. It's like, listen, he wins that, he's going to keep firing. But I could be wrong. They're like, no, he's savvy. You watch out. He may win some bets here and there.
I
you
need
ever
to win some bets.
How cold are you right now?
Well, what really killed me was the Astros. I had Astros. If they won the World Series, I was going to win $36 million, and of course they were minus 140 to win the World Series.
Yep.
And then they lost. That was tough. And then I lost the Alabama bet. That was about $6.2 million total. And then the Patriots, and then Titans. So I'm due a winner.
So how often are you firing? And I could be wrong. The first time I really became aware was the Astros, but I thought that was like, you probably know these guys. Where I'm from, I'm a New England guy, like Jordan's Furniture.
Right.
So they used to do, I think if the Red Sox win the World Series, similar. I always thought that was more like, when I first started, it's like, all right, he's more gimmick betting, but no, that's
well,
not.
A lot of it is hedge betting. You know, I bet the $2 million on the Patriots. Hopefully, they'd make it all the way through. Then I could have a huge promotion. And of course, the Alabama was, if Alabama wins, you get your mattress free. And the Astros, the same thing. So a lot of it's hedge betting, and some of it's just straight up.
Okay, so what percentage of it is just I like to bet, nothing to do with the furniture stuff? I just
Probably
like
25%.
25%.
Yeah.
All right, and we're at Pegasus today, which is horse race. And by the way, for people who don't know, I didn't know this. You're the Run Happy guy.
I am the Run Happy guy. I'm a huge fan of Run Happy. He's got a horse running today in the second race, so I'm going to unload on him.
And what is unloading at? So as I've become more successful, like I've always bet. I was betting $100 in college, and then you go up to 200. I was getting all the way up to like 100 grand early this season. I was hot. I was doing like 500 grand a game. Stopped that because I can't do that consistently. Horses, like me and my buddy Elio, I'm probably 2 to 3 grand, but we'll bet at every race. That's 2, 3, 4 grand. What are you shooting at a horse race?
Probably 5 or 10 per race. And
yeah, that's
more on the bigger race.
That's big. Yeah, big races go, but the races go so.
Yeah, they go fast.
Do you bet them at home, or do you only if you're at the track?
Only if I'm at the track, yeah.
That's a
but
good
at home,
way
I got to sell furniture, pay for all this.
And I read, are you still every day going to your furniture? So give me the background on the furniture business, how you got into it. I'm curious on that.
My wife and I started in Houston in 1981. We had $5,000, and we started a little abandoned model home place. And I would sell the furniture, and she and another guy would deliver it. And we slept at that furniture store the first year because we couldn't afford to have anybody steal our inventory. So we started ground up, and here we are 40 years later still at it. And I love every minute of it. I work from 8 in the morning until about 8:30 at night, 7 days a week. Work is life's greatest therapy, and I'm getting lots of therapy.
And so you're still selling furniture, meeting the people. That's what I read, all of it.
Yeah, I love
Never
to meet the people.
Stop doing it.
No, that's my whole life is meeting the people and interacting, being part of the community, and just trying to make a difference.
That's crazy. I that would be one difference between you and I. If I got to a place where I could stop, I think I'd be like, peace, I'm out. I don't know that I'd still do it. I'd be at the track a lot more.
I'll be at it till the day I die. I love interacting with the customers and seeing what they like, what they don't like, and mainly, just being part of the community, because Houston's a big place, and I've been there 40 years, been very good to me. So we all have a responsibility, I think, for the well-being of the community, and that's what I'm trying to do.
That's also, once we started talking about you, or I started talking about you, the feedback doesn't happen too often. It was universally positive because of the philanthropy that you do around Houston with the hurricanes. I know that was a big part of the relief. And actually, I thought I don't know what happened in the last one. We talked briefly about trying to do some charity for that as well.
Yeah.
But you're always involved in that.
Yeah, we were involved in helping the tornado people in Kentucky. And last year when we had ice storm in Houston, we had about 300 people sleep at the store for 2 or 3 nights. So, we're always out there because I know what's happening. I got my finger on the pulse because I'm talking to those customers all day.
Not to go back to the gambling thing, do you have to gamble? I said I kind of view you as like a version of me. Do you have to gamble to the point like where you feel it? Like, is that like, to me, it's not gambling if you don't feel it. If you can turn the game off, you're like, oh, I lost. It's like, that's not gambling. That's just, I don't know what you're doing in that. You have to feel it. Do you still feel it when Alabama loses? Are you like,
Yeah, Alabama was a tough one, but it was 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. I got up the next morning, went back to work. It was over. That's all you can do, right? Well, a setback's just a setup for a comeback, and life offers you a second. Life offers you a second chance. It's called tomorrow. Suit up.
That's what he does. He owns a pizza place, and he puts his pizzas for $7 whenever he gets killed. So it's like a common ground.
This move. What would you do if you had a buddy that you gamble with consistently? So he loves hockey. He bets hockey. His nickname is Mr. Ice. He has these picks. I was on a mini retirement because I also have been cold. And he comes over, so I put money into the account. I'm going. I go, I'll do whatever you want to bet. You tell me the bets. He gives me the bets. He gives me 3 bets. Comes down the stairs after the game start. There were 2 bets he didn't tell me about that he put in. Naturally, both won. So I went 1 and 2, and he went 4 and 1. What kind of friend is that?
Yeah, well, that sounds like some of the touts I get.
Yeah. How is it in our world? I'm always curious. So you gamble with all of them. We're obviously the Barstool, FanDuel, DraftKings. Are they all similar to you, or like what's the difference between any of them?
My favorites are Barstool because they take a lot of high action, and Caesars takes a lot of high action. So those are the 2 that I'm most involved with now, and so, I bet a lot of money, and I want to make it easy, and I bet legally. So I've been having to fly to Colorado, which is very expensive, but they just opened sports gambling online in Louisiana yesterday.
Yeah,
so
brand
it's a lot
new.
easier for me. Yeah,
Yeah, that is a lot easier.
and y'all have a relationship with LeBurge down there.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
From what I've told, I've never been to them. I think we're actually going down there for the Super Bowl. I think we're going to be at LeBurge for the Super Bowl, or one of them, to watch it there. But that is one of their home states, Penn. They have the most casinos, I think, in Louisiana, or they're some of their proudest properties.
Yeah.
Darren Ravel.
Darren's a good guy.
I hate him. I hate him. I did, Mac. I hate him.
Well, he thinks a lot of you. Let me say
I
that.
tell you, Mac, I don't know if he's missing social cue like membranes. Like there's something about him. Like he doesn't understand how to joke properly without. I don't know whether he takes everything too seriously. He doesn't know how to give it back and forth. But I tell you, Mac, when I saw your friends, I was like, how can Mac be friends with this guy?
After I was, you tweeted out about me on the, on the Patriots bet. He called me. He said, I understand you bet a lot of money on the Patriots. I said, yeah, I bet it with the Barstools with the Dave. And he said, well, I'm not a big fan of Dave, but that tweet he sent out was worth $2 million.
Yeah. Well, see, at least he's saying it both back and forth. It is. It's, I mean, obviously, you've become a well-known figure, you're already in Houston, but the gambling has made it nationwide. Basically, everyone knows the name. I mean, when I think, who do you think outside of big gamblers, right? Is Mattress Mac the league leader right now?
Like that's not like a Barkley or like someone who was already famous from sports. It's probably.
The Michael Jordans. Right.
Yeah,
Floyd Mayweather.
but
Yeah. He's definitely a big one. So what do we think in this little era? What is your? I already know you like the Bengals to keep it close. What is your thought on the Super Bowl? Like,
one of the things we're trying to do on the Super Bowl is get a hedge so we can do a promotion. So obviously the best one for us would be Chiefs Rams, could probably have the smallest differential in who's favored.
So explain to me what you mean. How does that work? How do you do that?
So we do a promotion that says if you buy a mattress or if you buy this upholstered furniture, leather upholstered furniture, $3,000 or better, and if the Rams win, you get your money back. So if the Rams are plus 2.5, then I get plus 140 or whatever on the money line.
So basically, you cover it by betting the Rams, and then you get all the furniture, so it's a wash in your mind. But you get the customer. Is that essentially?
Yeah, and the customers love it. The sales for the Alabama week were up about 300%. So it makes it fun, makes us relevant. We have a big challenge right now in brick and mortar retailing called Amazon. Yep. And if we're not relevant to the customers, we're out of business. So we do these sports promotion. People love sports. They like to feel like they're involved in gambling on the game. And it's been a great promotion for us. I did it on the Kentucky Derby last year. Did it when U of H made the Final Four last year. Alabama game, etc.
What was the first one you did?
First one I did was way back when the Texans first got in the NFL in their first game against the Cowboys.
Okay.
So I said if the Texans beat the Cowboys, then you get your money back. And that was like $1.5 million. That was 15 years ago.
Now, did that catch like press everywhere? Did people think you were crazy for doing that?
The one that really caught the press was when Seattle played, Denver in the Super Bowl. And I got $9 million on that, didn't buy any insurance. And I was on the treadmill that Sunday because we'd sold out of furniture the Saturday before. And I was helping the guys do deliveries. I was on the treadmill. I was too nervous to watch the game. I never got any of the guys come in and high-five me, so I knew I was screwed. And then my wife called me. I said, who won? She said, Seattle won, dummy. You just lost $9 million. My wife thinks I have a gambling problem, but I really have a promotion problem.
I've seen that quote. Yeah. That's perfect. What do you say? I get this a lot. Like, I feel like I'm pretty generous, and we do pretty good at Barstool with charity. But like I bought $1 million of Bitcoin yesterday. I had none. It's like, you know what? I literally tweeted out, fucked around, bought some Bitcoin. Good promotion, by the way. The Bitcoin people, it's like a rabid community that will support you if you're involved. They're all over the place. But then people every time, whether I gamble, whatever, they're like, oh, why don't you give that money to people who need it? I've seen some people say it to you, who is one of the more philanthropic, I stink at that word, people that we've come across. But no matter what you do, people chirp you, especially with gambling. Does that get to you at all?
No, I don't read any of those comments. I just do my own thing and take care of the people. And, if somebody's going to be negative about it, that's their problem, not mine. I'm going forward. And, gambling's part of my persona. That's why I've been successful, is my wife and I take risk. We take huge risk in the business. So we risk on a football game, basketball game, on the Astros. That's part of it.
I've often said, and it's myself and this other guy, Big Cat Dan, I think you may be a little different. The only two guys that beat the house, because what you just said rings so true. Like, I've always taken risks with Barstool. We almost went bankrupt with a concert tour. Anything I had, we put back into the company, and I always gambled. That was my personality. It just so happened when they legalized sports gambling, we were in the perfect place to capitalize. Now, I keep losing at the rate I am. It may end up being a wash when it's all said and done. But yeah, it's same. I think a lot of people, entrepreneurs, you have to have that successful ones, that mentality.
Yeah, you could have worse habits too than gambling. There's lots of things that are worse. So I like to gamble, and people like to follow my antics, and it gets you a lot of publicity, and people come in and buy furniture. A lot of young kids. When I went to who the Astros lose to? Atlanta?
Yep.
Yeah.
Every kid under 30 years old knew me, in the Atlanta Stadium. Is all because of Barstools.
And, I mean, that's the perfect, really, when you look at the marketing, because even sitting here, like, without the gambling angle, I wouldn't know the furniture chain in Houston. Why would I? I'm not from there. this quote from your documentary: "I'm planning on doing something radical with my life before I leave here. So when I go up and see the creator, he'll say, 'You lived a good life. You marketed some degree of decency to the people.'" You there yet? Has the radical happened?
Well, last year we took 30,000 square feet out of the furniture store, and we made a high school for kids 16 to 26 that haven't finished high school. We made a trade school to teach skilled trades like plumbing, electrical, auto mechanics to people, and we have a preschool for age 6 months to 5 years old. And all three of those entities are funded by us, and that's a radical departure. No furniture store has ever done that. But we have to ask ourselves every day, would the customers miss us if we were to go out of business tomorrow? I know I'd miss you guys. So if we're relevant and part of the community, then we stay in business, we grow. And that's a lot of people walk in there and they say, "I'm here to buy because of what you do for the community." I don't do it for that reason, but there's always some positive benefit.
It's a good answer. I use that for our own employees at Barstool. Would anyone care if you just stop working here tomorrow? A lot of people probably have to look themselves in the mirror, Eddie, and ask the question to themselves. You got anything else, Eddie?
Yeah, so you're good buddies with Chuck Norris, right?
I am.
So do you guys like bet overs? Are you guys gambling friends? What kind of friends are you?
I did a movie with Chuck. My wife and I financed a movie called Sidekicks way back in like 1995. So we financed that movie, and Chuck was great as far as promoting the movie. We got the money back, and then Chuck went on, and we had a rough time getting the money back on that movie for whatever reason. But he went on a tour with my wife about 30 cities and kept the movie going, and so we made a little money on it. But it was a battle and a struggle, like so many things in life are. So he called my wife about a year later, said, "Hey, I'm doing this TV show called Walker, Texas Ranger. Do you want to finance it?" She said, "Hell no," and that went over the top.
I thought you were going to say, "Hell yes."
Yeah.
Oh, that's a swing and a miss.
But then I also heard you taught Alex Bregman how to hit, right?
No, Alex is teaching me how to hit, but I did get Alex in the horse racing business.
So Bregman hit me up about the horse racing business. He's like, "What do you think about horses? You know people?" It's like my one advice to him was, and I know he had family in Mexico, right? Who's involved?
New Mexico, yeah.
Yeah. I basically was like, don't do it to make money. Like that was my only advice to him. You got to like it, enjoy horses, but if you're looking at like an investment or make money, horse racing would not be the industry I choose for you.
Horse racing, as Nick Zito says, is a game you got to wear iron pants in. It's tough.
yeah, and like Secretariat and a donkey down the road eat the same amount of hay and grass, so it costs the same.
And vet bills.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They don't care who they're. Yes, but yeah, he did hit me. Is he involved with you in any horses?
Yeah, we own a horse together called Run for Rachel. That's a Run Happy colt. It's 2 years old at our training center in Lexington, and a couple other horses. So Alex's dad is on the New Mexico Horse Racing Commission, so he has a long history in it. And Alex is a great guy.
So I'm glad you brought it up, Eddie. My favorite team is the Patriots. They've been accused of a lot of things over the years, all faults. Your favorite team, also notorious cheaters.
Yeah, well, when everybody does it, they pick out one person, and a lot of people in horse racing, they give a little help to these horses, and either ban them all or ban none of them. Don't pick on one person, but the stealing sign's been going on for 60 years, so what the hell's the big deal about that?
Yeah, I don't know if it was a little elevated with the drum and whatnot. Again, I've been accused. Listen, I went to jail for Tom Brady, so
yeah,
I mean, literally, I've been down this road as deep as someone can go, and I'm a diehard. But yeah, the Astros. Again, I tend to agree with you on all of this stuff. It's not who everyone's trying to get an advantage in sports, all sports, and until you get caught, that's when. In pitchers, I'm not acknowledging anything. By the way, I don't want this to be misconstrued, but yeah, the Astros. When you mentioned Bregman, I mean, he was one of the ringleaders of that.
Yeah, well, Alex is a great guy. He's a great player, and I'll leave it at that.
Yeah. What about? Are you like? Do you cheer for the Texans? They're such a miserable franchise.
I like the Texans. We've been a sponsor on and off for years. They've had some problems. The Texans, I think, are too enamored with the Patriots. Everybody there hires from the Patriots, and I think maybe what they're missing is they're not hiring Belichick.
Yeah, well, and the Patriots too. The most famous game, I always say, we murdered the Texans franchise. The game they wore the Letterman jackets, if you recall that. Yeah. They came out and they lost by 100. That was the end of the Texans franchise.
Yeah, that was. They still talk about that in Houston.
Yeah, that was good. I don't know. Go ahead.
dude, what's your college team again? I know you went to North Texas, but you're from Starkville, so is there?
Well, I played football at the University of Texas in 1969 and 1970 when the Longhorns won 30 straight games, 2 consecutive national championships. I was a great football player at the University of Texas. I only had 2 small problems. I was too small, too slow, and the position I played was called the bench. But anyway, so I played at Texas for 2 years, then North Texas for 2 years. So I'm very close with the guys at the University of Texas, also U of H, and some other colleges.
Would you, when you say close, could you ever see yourself getting the NIL game then? Are you that, like, here in Miami, they're talking about it a lot? Do you care that much about the program?
Yeah, they've been asking me from some colleges to sponsor some of these kids, they're being heavily recruited while they're at XYZ school by another school that says we're going to give you this money. So I'm sure I'll end up sponsoring some of them, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we got a long day here with Match with Mac, which I'm, again, super excited. I got a feeling, I hope you get hot today because I already know you're going to, like, peer pressure me into betting more than I normally do. So let's hope we all win and have a great day.
Let's hope you give me 2 good picks tomorrow.
Well, I do like the Chiefs. Right now I'm on the Chiefs. The other game, I think the Rams. I don't like the way you looked at me when I said the Chiefs.
Our finance manager died in the wool Chiefs fan. I have lost more money betting against the Chiefs than probably any football team on earth. So I may end up going to the Chiefs.
9 sacks. Bengals gave up 9 sacks. Yes, you win that game, but in the Chiefs defense, well, we'll see. I like the Chiefs. I like the Chiefs. All right, that's Mattress Mac. We'll continue with the rest of it later.
Yep.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me. Great to be here.
Yeah, great. That was great. Perfect. Thank you.
All right, thanks to Mac. It was great to meet him, Dave. What a good guy.
Yeah, huge fan of his. I stay in touch with him. He actually wanted to put $10 million on the Super Bowl. I don't know that we're taking it, but I love the way the guy's just a big bettor, so I love it.
Yeah, he fires. Even on horses, he was really zoned in, locked in, so it was good.
Yeah, he helped me because our big win was, like, he owns Run Happy, and it was like our Run Happy kid, offspring, and I bet that horse because of him. And I had $1,000 like cold exacta with his pick and Elio's, and that was our biggest hit of the day.
Huge. All right, let's get to the Reddit hater. Before we get into it, though, Dave, let's talk about Birddogs. I got the beanie here.
They sent me a bunch of beanies and some cool shorts, so I have the beanie as well.
Yeah, so.
Yeah. I love Birddogs. All their stuff's great. Since in the nice weather, I wear it nonstop. Both the joggers and the shorts. Don't have to wear underwear because it has it built in, which is great. Super comfortable. Go to birddogs.com. Enter promo code Dave. They'll throw in a free Birddogs beanie. I don't need that in Miami, but if you're in any of our major cities, you do because it's so cold. So go to birddogs.com. Enter promo code Dave. They'll throw in a free Birddogs beanie. That's birddogs.com. Promo code Dave. And boom, a free Birddogs beanie with your pair of Birddogs. Stay warm and comfortable this winter in your Birddogs. The hat's cool. I just luckily am in 75, 80 degree weather.
So you're rocking the shorts. You got the shorts or the joggers on out there.
Always. Always.
Go get some Birddogs. All right, here we go. Let's bring them on. We got a Reddit hater that wants to face off one-on-one versus Dave now.
I love it. Let's see what this guy says, why he hates me so much. I'm curious to see what he looks like. Imagine if he's like a great-looking guy. Okay.
Going on.
We got him.
What's up?
We got
All right.
him. We got him.
So, Chris, you're representing the Reddit people today.
I am representing the Reddit people.
So, let's start, Kareem. How did we find this guy of all the Reddit people? I said I wanted to talk to one, put him on my knee and all that because they're so vile and hate me. So how did we find you?
Go ahead, Kareem.
I made a post saying I want to find people who are critical of Dave. Like, I don't want a guy who's just going to come on here and suck his dick. So I posted, and then Chris here just responded and said, the message is in there. I screenshot of what he said, but he basically has a bunch of gripes with you. He thinks that you like fell off basically, and
you sold out, Dave.
How so?
Dude, you're 44 years old. You're going on birthday parties with a bunch of 25-year-old girls, and you're making $1 million bets. You haven't been a common man in a long time.
So your issues, I made money?
No. I'm not saying that. Of course, I'm happy that you made money. My problem is that you have this common man persona as if you're still the same person that you were 10 years ago, and you're not. But you think that you still are. But you're doing all these things that aren't common man at all, but you're pretending you still are.
So I guess my question would be, if you thought if I had money when I started, do you think I would not have been doing the things I do now?
I think that, and obviously it comes with age. I think if you were doing things at 30 rather than 44, it would look a lot different. Like you're hanging out with people who are half your age. You could be their parents.
So
that's one of my.
So your issue is like that. Sylvana, for example, is 26. So if she's 30, would you be all right with it?
I think it's more the environments that you're hanging out. Like you're at the clubs all the time. And again, I'm happy that you're rich. That's great. But my problem is that you're playing off this persona as if you're the same person as you were 10 years ago.
Right, but I couldn't do any of the things that I do now because I couldn't afford them. I didn't have the connections. So to say like, I changed, I just couldn't do them because I wasn't afforded the opportunities. So what, other than the fact anybody that gets more money and has more opportunity can buy a nicer house, can go to a club. Like I couldn't afford, like when I go out to a club, I don't have to pay for it. It's given to me. I go out, it's free. But like I would do that when I was 22 if I could afford it. I couldn't.
No, of course. What I'm saying is do you even want to do that? Like, are you doing it because you're rich and you have to feel like you play the rich guy person, or are you doing it because you enjoy it? Because you don't seem like
just
you're
going out.
it.
Are you like specifically?
I'm talking about staying out to clubs till 4 a.m., spending all this money, and yes, I know. Obviously, part of being rich is you get to spend the money. But like, are you actually enjoying it, or are you putting on this persona? That's what I don't know.
Well, when you're like, if I'm going out with a girlfriend, I would rather not stay out that late all the time. But when I was single, I was doing it. You're a single guy. You go out. That's what you do. But I don't know what you mean by like spending all the money. It just feels like obviously, the more successful you become, you get to do more things. But I don't know how you think that has changed me necessarily, like as a sellout, because I made money and sell money. I'm a sellout. So tell me.
Okay, I don't know what that was, but anyway,
that?
You're the head of you're head of content, but you're never in office, and you don't know what's going on. You even admitted yourself that you use the Reddit page, who you hate so much, to keep up on content. I think being head of content, yes, I know you're extremely busy, but at the same time, then don't be head of content. Give it to someone else, because the content has fallen off a cliff. The inmates are running the asylum. And Eddie, I want to give you credit because you guys at Barstool Chicago have done an incredible job. And Dave, I have to admit, you did do a good job with them, but there's so much dead weight at the company, and it's ridiculous. And do you know how many people on Reddit of us that would kill to have that opportunity? But it seems like you don't care about the company anymore. You care about yourself, and you care about going out. You don't care about Barstool anymore. And that's what I mean when you sold out, because you had the Chernin deal. Fine, whatever. You guys are in New York now. You were still part of the company. Once the Penn deal came, you were just worried about gambling and going out.
But the facts of the matter, which I've said a million zillion times, is I've always been concerned about trying to make Barstool the most successful and the most money. So the people like you who say it's fallen off, the facts greatly dispute that. Like, you want to go back early Barstool, before the Chernin deal, PMT didn't exist. Do you think PMT is any good? So it didn't exist. It didn't exist early. Call Her Daddy became like the Joe Rogan. That didn't exist. Like, there's things.
Yeah, it's very good. But again,
any good?
No, it didn't. But these podcasts
didn't exist
started
before
4, 5, 6 years ago. Not Call Her Daddy. That started about 3 years ago. But what I'm saying is, over the past 6 months to a year, between the whole chicken persona, between you just being completely absent from you.
What is chicken persona? That's just my girlfriend.
Chicken.
But what? So no, what is the problem?
Having
with
a girlfriend
that,
is
I have
not
a
the
girlfriend.
problem. Being a 44-year-old man being called chicken is the problem.
But that's just like, there's names not everyone goes. I put my life out there. Like, there's a million guys who are dating girls similar ages, maybe not as public, but you don't hear about them. Like, I always put my life out there. Like, I always find it interesting.
I've been following Barstool
how long have you
since
been following
KFC
Barstool?
came on, which was probably 2000. What did he come on? Like 2009?
Okay, so like, were you following me when I was like blogging
Yes.
about the Hills on MTV?
I did not follow the paper.
So
because I was just in
if
Boston. I wasn't in Boston.
But the Hills and Justin Bobby, and I used to do the Bieber videos, and everybody like, what are you covering? It's weird content and things like that. Nothing has changed. I always cover my interests. And the thing of me not being in the office, I would argue through COVID, all the way through football season, when we're on the road every single weekend, I was putting in more content than anyone else at the company.
Yeah,
Worth
but Dave, part of the problem is that
$100 million.
your quote-unquote content is a bunch of guys sitting around in a room talking about gambling or just staring at their phones. I don't really consider that content. Like, yes, you have the electric chair. Yes.
Going on the road and doing
No, but I'm
college
saying when you
football
guys do the
shows
electric
isn't
chairs and you
content?
guys do the gambling caves, like 30% of the time, everyone's just sitting on their phones. That's not content. Like, yes, physically you're there.
But yes, it is, because we're waiting for the viral moments that we put into clips and go on the internet. Listen, the world has changed. The blogs, written blogs, no longer put asses in the seats, get advertising dollars. It's video clips, it's everything. A gambling company bought us. That's what the focus is, to make money. Somebody has to pay the bills and pay salaries. At no point, I always started this as a business. Like, it started, I didn't even say who my name was because I didn't want to be content. I wanted it to be a business. We morph. So yes, when you say you sold out, if I'm trying to make as much money as I can for myself and people at the company, I guess that's true.
Yeah, but what I'm
we're
saying
still
is that
trying to do
it seems like over the past couple months, you've been so absent from trying to build that. Like, yes, I get that. Build Barstool up to be even
Build
bigger than
what?
it is. You want to take it to the moon. It's not at the fucking moon.
Barstool Sports started as a newspaper basically out of my apartment. It's now, people may say, a
It's a very
legitimate
big
threat to ESPN.
No, I'm not
You
saying
don't
that.
think
But my
that's-
point is that you're
So,
admitting-
well, you just says not to the moon. Like, what do you think I'm doing? Do you like?
Sure.
Here's my schedule today. I'll give you my schedule today. I just did an emergency.
I'll get
press
to that in a
conference
second.
about Brady. I have this. The Dave Portnoy show. After I film this, I'm going to do BFFs. We're going to do a rundown old school because of the Brady. Then I'll have a conference call with Penn, a weekly conference call. And then after that, I'm going to be on the Jesse Waters show.
All right. But
I'm
cool.
working over $100
Congratulations.
million.
Like that. But
I'm doing all this still. But you're saying
just
I
because you
checked
have
out.
one
How
day
is
of
that checking
busy
out?
schedule doesn't mean. And again, I think it's partially. Of course.
But I do business. I do
I think-
business stuff every day.
No, I don't see it, and
That you don't
that's
see.
why. I mean, realistically, like you say, you put yourself out there. I mean, that's part of the reason why a lot of the Redditors, including myself, have a gripe with you, because we don't see any of that stuff. So all we see is
What stuff
more
do you want
of the
to see?
business side. I didn't know how connected you were on the business side. That's what I'm saying. Is that
What do you mean? How do you not know? I mean, if you look at these quotes, it's a combination. You said this. Did you say you think I look bad by fighting against the hit pieces?
I
saying
think
I'm
that
a
you
sexual
constantly
deviant?
answering them is bad, because all they do is they recycle everything. And then when they recycle everything, they put out new hit pieces. More people look at it. Whether or not it's a hate look or not, they're still making money off of it. If you just ignore everything and you say, hey, listen, like I've said my piece, I'm obviously not a sexual deviant, or you might be, who knows? But as long as you do everything legally, it doesn't matter. But the problem is that every time you come back and you fight back harder and harder, they're just going to come out with another one because they know that you're going to respond to it. That's the problem.
Do you understand, like, when there's articles like that, there's board meetings, advertiser meetings, threat. Like, I won the first round. Like, the way I handled it by being ahead of it, proving it all. You think it should just be ignored? We would have lost a ton of advertisers.
You would have
and
lost
this
a ton of
company would be in
advertisers by
flames
you
right now.
not saying anything. They would
Yes.
rather you fight every single
Yes.
time and give people like,
They need to know that I'm innocent.
yeah,
I
but
had
it
to
seems
prove
like
it.
now at that point you proved your innocence. It's all good.
That would be a wonderful world to live in. That's not the world. That's not the world we live in. Like, if you think that, so do you think I just do it for fun? Like, I like defending and going through all this. I don't sleep when it
No,
happens.
of course.
It's the
But
worst
what I'm
fucking
saying
thing
is
I've ever
I
dealt
feel
with.
like there is an element of whether it be you enjoy arguing with people, which I know you do. Obviously, we're arguing right now. Or it's an ego thing. I know, obviously, you need to defend your name.
An ego thing to defend myself against being a sexual.
No. That's not what I said.
Being said.
I said you constantly talking about yourself with the hit pieces would be an ego thing, not you defending yourself. I said you defend yourself, and it's good that you defend yourself, but you constantly going back every single time, that's just going to make him have more hit pieces in the future.
I have done a pretty good job of ignoring almost everything till it literally is calling me basically a criminal.
I disagree, but
so you're saying I know Business Insider's writing another hit piece on me. I know it. There's nothing I can do to stop it. I know it's coming. Like a girl reached out not too long ago. They're like harassing her grandmother, calling her at work, trying to get her to lie. I know it's coming. You think when this thing, headline news, I should
well,
just
it depends on what it says.
that would be
Obviously,
your
if they're
move.
incriminating you, that's something different. If they're just saying, oh, like, you know, he had sex with this younger woman, like, yeah, ignore it, because like, what who fucking cares?
So what
No,
about the
I
first
would have
one?
I would have done
ignored the
exactly what
first
you
one?
did. But you keep bringing it up in the news. That's what I'm saying, is that address it and then it's done.
It's because I have to prove my innocence. People have to, not everyone's as aware or into everything. You may believe me,
All right,
but
fair enough.
that doesn't mean
Fair
everybody
enough.
does. And I still don't get I pretend to be the person I used to be, and the shtick doesn't work. My question is this, and it's pretty much, we've had the same people at Barstool forever. The people who have known me for a long time have basically said, yeah, but he hasn't changed. Like Paul Gaz has been around forever. The only thing that's changed is we've become successful. But if you want me to be living in a studio bedroom,
No, I don't want you
So
to
what
be
do you want
living
me to
in
do?
squalor with
Pretend I don't have
a
money?
bad haircut and a neck that's bent like this. Obviously, I want you to be successful. Maybe a few less skinny jeans, but it's not about the success. It's about you portraying yourself as the same person as you were 10 years ago. If you were just
what do you mean? How do I portray? That's the part.
because
What
it
do you
seems
mean
like you're playing a
portray?
shtick of yourself. You're playing like a character of yourself. I
Why
just
would
told you
I do
how
that?
you do it.
I don't like.
No,
but
it's not
because
just
I
that,
go
but
out to a
it's
club?
constantly being out and doing all these things. And yes, I know it's part of being a rich person. I completely understand that. What I'm saying,
But I don't know what you mean by that. Like outside of if I go to a club at night, which I haven't been doing nearly as much since I got a girlfriend, I don't know what that means. Like, what am I doing that's
again,
so
it's
different?
more you portraying yourself as the common man. That really is where the whole gripe comes from. You're not a common man anymore, which is fine.
Wait. In what world do I still say I know I've become obscenely wealthy? Like, in what world do I continue to say
I can pull
I'm
up tweets
a common
and send them to you about
9 to
you
5 guy?
being the common man and whatever else, whether it be related to gambling. And again, Dave,
Do you think I think common men bet $500,000 on a game?
Well, but that's part of the
No,
issue is that
course not.
it
Not
seems
everyone
like
can
you're
do
coming
that.
off as if common men can bet $500,000 on a game. That's that.
In what world do I ever make that?
I'll go
claim?
through Twitter and take a look at some of the bets that you've made.
You're gonna find evidence of me saying,
No.
common
See,
dudes
that's the
just
thing. You're
bet
twisting my
$500,000
words.
on a
It's not
game?
exactly what I said. No, I didn't say exactly
you
that.
just
I'm going to
said-
say
you just
you're
said
going to be speaking about being a common man while also gambling.
Okay, I mean, I've gambled since I started this company. It was a gambling newspaper to start. I'm still gambling. I've just made more, so I gamble more. In fact, I'd
More with
argue
more
I'm
money.
doing the same exact thing, except we're owned by a gambling company, so it's on camera. But like 20 years ago, Dan and I have joked about it. We're sitting on our fucking couches betting these meaningless games. Last night, I'm texting in a group chat with Jersey Jerry and Big Cat about fucking Weber State.
Yeah. All right. Well, listen, those are the gripes that I have with you. At the end of the
It sounds like, and I don't want to say, it sounds like the gripe is you say you're happy that like Barstool made it, but you're not, because it certainly has afforded me like a better life and more.
Are you saying
opportunities
I'm
and things
not?
I
Of
never
course, I'm
dreamed I'd
happy
be
that
able
you
to do.
guys made it. I'm very happy that you guys made it. We wouldn't be able to do this if you guys didn't make it. Imagine if fucking Chad Pennington
And what?
was the quarterback and you were in New York instead of Boston. Like you wouldn't have had. Sorry, go ahead.
But there's an element of it, I feel, and I guess it's natural. Like if you find a band, for example, right, and you see them at a local club, small, 100-person venue, and then they blow up and they're playing arenas, you always hear the fans being like, they changed, they're different. Well, they became successful playing huge venues. I actually think I'm pretty grounded. I think most of the people that I surround myself would be like, he's the same kind of dick he's always been. But he just is a dick on a bigger level. I wasn't able to sit in fucking Bob Kraft's suite. I wouldn't get invited to that. But it's almost like you don't want me to go to that.
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that you can go to that and do everything that you need to do as a rich person. What I'm saying is that you still, I feel like you're almost playing as if you're still the common man. And like I said before, I know that you're going to refute that and say like, I know I'm not the common man anymore. But just like the way you come off, it's almost as if you're like a hybrid of both, which you're not at all. You're just a rich guy, which is fine.
I think what I am is a common guy who hit it rich. And I act like most common guys would. I don't think there's any difference. I always hear it's like, and obviously it's changed. I have a girlfriend. It's always that. It's like, yes, I get it. Like when I was hunched over with bread and shit like that and curved neck and wasn't going out, girls didn't give a fuck who I was. With fame, fortune, things change. My life changed. But I'm still the same fucking guy. And I think it's totally disingenuous when people are like, oh, I would never talk to fucking hot girls if they talk to me. It's like, what are you talking about? It's like things changed. We became successful.
Good. I'm listening. Like I said, I'm
all right. Who's the bottom right?
Yeah, say hello to Lance, Dave.
What's your voice there, Eddie?
You sound muffled,
Sound
Eddie.
weird? Something wrong?
Your thing's on it.
I sound muffled?
Your
Eduardo,
microphone's not on.
I don't know.
Shout out to you guys in Barstool, Chicago. You guys do a great job.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Eddie, you sound like a fucking you're underwater.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, no problem. Listen,
Thank you.
All right, thank you for coming on.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna leave now, but Dave, I appreciate talking to you about this. I mean, I'm not a coward. I'll talk to you face to face about it. And listen, like at the end of the day,
I appreciate that.
I still respect Barstool a lot. I still think.
But the Reddit is no matter what I do, the Reddit page, like when I see it, it's so overwhelmingly negative on everything. And it goes in waves, but I could fucking cure cancer and be like,
But
not
again,
good
I
enough.
just wanted
I
to
mean,
at least
it's
give you some of the criticisms that we have and be open and honest with you rather than hide behind a page. You know what I'm saying? No problem.
I get it.
Have a good one,
I
guys.
appreciate you coming on. What?
Thanks,
All
man.
right. Who's the bottom right here?
Say hello to Lance, Dave. This is Lance.
Hey, Lance. Oh, this is the guy everyone makes fun of?
Yeah. My name's not Lance.
Okay, but is this? I've
Probably
seen the
Lance.
Lance. So is Lance like he's the gung ho stoolie? So he's the opposite side of the spectrum. Am I right about that?
So I would say I'm one of the few remaining Go Prez Go Dave Portnoy guys in the subreddit.
Okay.
There's not a lot of them. There's not a lot of them,
No.
at least active ones. But I mean, I've got the quarter zip to prove it, and that's why I wore it today. But there's not a lot of us out there.
It's one of the all-time things that I always see is, and I should have said it before he hung up, the Reddit page will be like, what losers would ever buy merch? Not just like team, anything. They're like, only a loser would buy. I should have said it to that guy, but only a loser would buy merch. You guys are talking about us 24/7. How do you think we make money? How do you think we stay in business? He just said he's glad we're successful. Like, you need money. We need contracts. Things that people don't get. There's hits, there's misses, but it's to what that guy said. The content's gone downhill. PMT didn't exist. Spit and Chicklets didn't exist in the nature it does now. People love Yak. They love fucking KB, Nick, Roan, Caleb. Like, these people weren't around. How do you think we afford these people? How do you think we pay for these people? This is a business that we're running, and there's still people I'll go to bat and be like, I don't care if they bring in 1 cent. Caleb Presley's so fucking talented. We need him. And we can't keep anybody. So I don't know.
Well, specifically on the merch points, I've got a list of talking points that I've created on my own over here. So my perspective I'm not coming from a perspective that we as a whole, the entire Reddit page, and I guess you could say free talk. I don't know. Are you familiar with the free talk comment thread? So it's a daily comment thread that occurs. It reposts daily. It's where I think it gets 6, 7, 8,000 comments every single day. It's sticky at the top of the Reddit page every day that people just go in and talk about whatever. And one of the running jokes is there are people who stay on the main thread and just interact with whatever's posted on the actual subreddit page, and then people that stay in the cellar of the free talk thread. I'm in both. I'm active in both. I post on I go in spurts, just like, I'm sure anybody else does, that I will post stuff on the main page. Then I won't post for 2 weeks, or then I'll be in the free talk thread every single day, commenting 10, 15, 20 times a day. So my perspective here, and why I think I was invited, is to give you a perspective of, well, from the Go Prez Go side, we're not all negative. We're not. There are people out there, and I think a lot of it has to do with like this pile-on culture where it's like something is posted, something negative was posted, right? So then someone comments a negative thing, and then 2 more comments come in supporting that, and then 4 more after that. Then it's just all negative, right? But if someone posts something positive, right? Hey, look what Prez did, like Prez shit on this guy on the internet or something. Then the entire comment section under that is going to be supporting. It goes, like you mentioned, it goes in waves. Not everybody is negative. And I would say that on a large scale amongst the entire, 170,000 subscribers to the Reddit page, a large majority of them were not negative. We do enjoy the content. We enjoy Barstool. And, I would think there's a contrast between what you see is getting shit on as opposed to what is celebrated and praised and talked in a positive light.
Yeah. And I mean, what you're describing is not too dissimilar from what's gone on with Barstool forever. We've always cultivated a pretty loyal, active fan base that we tend to interact with. I'm going all the way back to the newspaper when we had the message board, which was like, I've told the story. We go to our first March Madness party and people had masking tape with like their usernames. Then the comment section, and the comment section would there was the comment section versus the message board, and like where you went in that. And to be honest, I was always blogging and involved, so I would communicate more, but I almost once every 6 months to a year would be like, fuck the comment section. And I'd write something to kind of what I'm saying about the Reddit page, and it's moved a little bit. What that guy fails to realize is Barstool's become a much bigger company, and I'm involved in far more than just content. So yes. I'm not paying attention as much and not interacting as much, but every once in a while I'll go see it. It's like, Jesus Christ, these people, like his argument of I should just ignore some of the hit pieces that come out is lunacy, and he has no idea how dangerous those are, not just to me, but the entire company. And anyone who knows me closely, it's not like, I think he said it was like an ego thing. Trust me, if I could snap my fingers and make those go away, I fucking would. But I get it. It's kind of what it always has been. There's people who don't like or think we've fallen off or whatever, but the facts are we've just grown. And I think we've been pretty true to ourselves. And there's a reason why we've been a cutting-edge company for close to 2 decades. I think as clearly certain things we can't do. Certain things we have to be tighter, but for the most part, it's the same people, same guys. Eddie, what are you doing over there? Are we keeping you awake?
Yeah, I someone wants to pop in. We got a guest. Do we want to wait till 12:30, or he could do 10 minutes now only? He's got something.
Who is it?
It's Ryan Whitney. I can't say no to him.
Fine, bring him in.
All right. All right, but he only has 10 minutes now, or he can come at 12:30.
What do you want to talk about?
All he texted me was in all caps, he's a fucking moron. So I'm interested about that. Yeah,
Is it me or Brady?
You.
Brady?
I think you.
I'm a moron?
I think you.
Because of the Brady shit?
I think.
All right.
By the way, condolences, President.
That's crazy. So what do we want to do here?
Do you want him now for 10 minutes, or do you?
Yeah, bring him on.
All
bring him on. I don't know if he's going to talk. Well, he doesn't know who we just interviewed, so I'm a moron because of my Brady take. It's going to be the Brady take.
Maybe.
Oh, wow. I'm a moron.
Lance, it was great
So
to meet you.
are you the guy they call Lance?
I am, yeah.
Okay.
And my name's not Lance.
No, I get it.
It's not.
Yeah, right.
It's
But
Lance.
Lance in
I-
Phoenix or whatever.
The Desert Doug
Yeah.
is, I think.
Well,
his
I
name is, yeah.
appreciate the support, and I'll say this: I think you get it. I don't know the other guy, and Eddie has seen it. It's not always true. I describe the people who hate us as like sports talk radio. They're the rabbits, but they don't represent. When I go out in the street, most people don't know what's going on in social media. They're just like, hey, thanks, nice to meet you, love Barstool. Most people are normal, nice people. And that guy actually seemed normal and nice. I don't even know some of the stuff he was saying. Let's get Whitney in here.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lance, for the support.
Lance, appreciate it,
Yeah.
brother.
See you guys.
Have a good one.
He was not able to. I didn't read this. He thought he'd be able to rattle me or I'd just start yelling over like Blind Mike. I didn't do that. I'm curious. It's like fascinating almost.
I appreciate the way he came in. Here we go.
What is he going to be?
You are a fucking idiot.
About
you
what?
You are the dumbest, most disrespectful, moronic Patriots fan. I fucking hate your guts right now. You're a joke. You're mad at Tom Brady right now? You're fucking mad at Tom Brady right now. You would be still cleaning out plastic fucking newspaper holders
So
in
be
Boston
it.
without Tom Brady.
So
he won
be
you
it.
6 Super Bowls, and you think he owes you and Patriots fans one thing?
Yes.
Are you
What are
fucking-
you?
why?
Are you crazy?
Are you
nuts?
crazy, Dave? Are you crazy? All of you and the rest of the Patriots nation that is mad at him are embarrassing us loyal, normal fans who appreciate what he did, being the greatest of all time. You were acting like this guy owes you one thing, dude. He doesn't owe us anything. He gave us everything.
What are you talking about?
I just said what I'm talking about, dude.
Yeah,
What do you
no,
mean?
no,
What am I talking
no.
about?
Patriot fans have been, and he's the greatest of all time. I get that. I get the 6 Super Bowls. I get all that. He also went through, and he played 20 years here. He went through controversy after
He said
controversy.
goodbye 2 years ago.
Oh my God.
Dave,
2
who fucking
years ago,
cares?
Whitney?
He said
Whitney,
goodbye.
Whitney,
He gave an
that-
amazing goodbye on Instagram. You're worried about an Instagram
An amazing
post.
goodbye to the Buccaneers.
What do you mean? Didn't he do one to the Patriots when he
2
left?
years ago? That's not retiring. This is the
He's
moment.
leaving the team.
Okay.
It's like if a fucking golfer won 6 majors with a caddy.
he's retired.
No. It's like if a golfer won 6 majors with an unreal caddy, left the caddy, gave it a nice emotional post, thanks, then won another major with a new caddy, and the caddy's mad the first guy they didn't get thanked. You're making no sense.
You're literally comparing team sports and golf. Come on.
I'm trying
That's
to make a
ridiculous. all right,
comparison to
let
show
me
you
say
how
this.
fucking dumb and disrespectful you are.
No. So let me say, so Michael Jordan retires, writes an entire thing sucking the Bullets' dick and doesn't mention the Bulls once? What are you, crazy?
Yeah, you think okay, and a Bulls fan who cares and is mad at him over that after what Jordan did for them is an idiot and a trash bag.
So you're
making it about yourself, dude.
Myself. It's about everybody in New England. You know that was intentional, right?
Yes.
So he was giving a FU to whoever, Belichick, Kraft, whoever.
Yes. And he
Okay,
gave us 20 fucking years and 6 titles, and I could care
cares?
less.
Who
Who cares about the
cares?
6 titles? You went to prison for them, and you're not saying who cares about the titles?
Exactly. No. I already said this. If he doesn't do something, he's dead to me.
You are a loser. You're an absolute
such in
loser
the
then.
minority. Dude.
How are you figuring I'm in the minority? Yeah, because I am a fucking classy guy who knows what's what, and you know nothing.
It may be because you are a professional athlete and you view the world differently. You don't know what it is to be a fan. That could be it. Honestly, dude, he played his whole career here. Just say thank you to the Patriot fans.
But
That's
didn't
it.
he do that already when he left
2
the
years
team?
ago?
He left the team. It was over. It ended. For him, it was over.
The greatest player of all time just retired from
Greatest
football and
athlete
wrote
of all time.
6 to 7 slides. 6 to 7. And he didn't mention where he spent his entire career once.
What
How
he
do you
did
not
when he
think that's
left.
a problem?
Okay, Dave. When the Patriots
cares?
hold his jersey retirement and the fucking place is fucking packed going bananas for him, who cares? Who
How do you
cares?
know- Listen,
Who cares?
I wouldn't retire his jersey unless he does something else right now. He has to thank us.
Who the fuck's Tebow and Austin Jenkins? What do these idiots think? Who are these people?
You are dead. You are taking professional athlete where it's you just get a paycheck. You do
No,
this.
no,
you do that.
no,
Yeah, you are.
no, Dave. I'm a diehard Pats fan, and I just look at what he did, and it's like,
Can I ask
who
something?
cares?
Can I
Who
ask something?
cares?
We
It's an
probably-
Instagram post.
Can I ask something? and you'll gain a little shred of credibility if you're right. When Ray Bork retired from Colorado, I'd like to see what he said.
Well, I don't know. He did a fucking
I'd
cup
like
parade.
to see what he fucking
did a
said.
And
He
didn't win a title for the Bruins.
So that's it. You're saying because he was great, there's no connection to the city.
No, the fans don't certainly hold Ray Bork to the same standard. He didn't win 6 cups for the Bees.
If somebody
Yes, it does matter. All that matters is what happened on the
that.
field, Dave. That's
No,
all that matters.
That's not wrong. That's dead wrong. It's anybody who plays that long, that great in one city, and the fans have. Listen, I know he's on the field. We're with him every fucking step of the way.
And you don't think he appreciated it?
I have been I've dealt with the cops 3 times in my life. They're all because of him. All you have to do is say, thank you. It's 20 fucking years. He went on about the Bucks for 7 hours. He was there for 2 minutes. Listen, if you're with somebody, let's say you're with your wife for 20 years, and God forbid you break up, and she wins an Oscar, and she goes on stage and thanks the new girl she's been with for a minute and doesn't even mention.
You're comparing marriage and an individual marriage
You
to
get
a
what
team
I'm fucking
sport?
talking about. He's with at the city. I don't care if he has spite. All you gotta do. He spent his whole career here. He thanked fucking
No, he
Michigan,
didn't.
I think.
He didn't spend his whole career here.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. It's like he did so much that it's like, holy fuck, who cares at the end? Who cares? It's all about what would happen at the time.
The memories. It's everything.
The memories, exactly. The memories, Dave. The memories.
We're with him. To me, that is a F. He went, boop, fuck you to everybody in New England.
He went fuck you to Belichick. I'm surprised he did it to Kraft, and I am surprised. But in the end, I don't dislike him. I lose zero amount of respect for what this dude did for us and what he gave us for 20 years. He gave you your whole life.
All he said to that is I don't care about New England.
He said that when he left. He said he cares about New England, and thank you so much for everything. 2 years,
when you retire for good for the game, for ever putting a uniform on.
I think in his mind when he left the Pats, he was done.
I'm not asking him to write Moby Dick. He did 6 slides. He didn't mention it. He mentioned everything else. Everything.
I thought it was odd. I just can't believe the amount of people like you that are actually like, fuck Tom Brady. Like, what are you talking about? First of all, they didn't even give him what he wanted. He would have been here still.
So that's fine. You can. All you gotta do is thank the fans in New England. It's not the fans' fault.
Okay, so if he ends up like doing something with the team, or like they do retire his jersey and he comes back and gives a speech, are you taking all of this back?
I have said before you came on, I assume he's going to do that. He can't be that stupid, even on the business side, of alienating his number one fan base. I do believe, so I haven't deaded him. When I dead somebody, you're dead. I haven't done it. I don't want to dead him. He's given too much. But if he doesn't do anything, yeah, I'm going to fucking dead his ass.
Wow.
I don't understand how you don't.
Shit.
I don't understand how you don't see.
Because you're making it's just so selfish of you and the rest of these fans. Like, holy fuck.
Wait a minute. You don't think it was selfish of him, what he did?
No, I don't.
That was an intentional
I think it was weird.
slight.
I think it was weird. It was spiteful, but selfish isn't the right word. Patriots fans who are making this about themselves are selfish.
No, it's
and I got one of my best buddies is you right now. We're arguing over the phone. I saw your thing. I'm like, I got to come on the show.
How is
Eddie,
it
this
selfish
idiot.
by me? How is it selfish by me?
Because you're making it about yourself. You're making it about.
It's all of New England. Listen, it's about.
But it's not all of New England.
97% of Patriot fans right now feel how I do. Go look at the comments underneath my fucking blog.
I mean, I don't know percentage-wise. Okay, 97%.
I honestly think it's the pro athlete. It is about the city, the memories, the community growing up, your friends watching it. This is our guy, and he's basically saying, "I'm not your guy. I'm not your guy. I'm Tampa. I'm a Tampa." That's crazy. Would you be insulted they don't do it this way? Let's say he did this, and I guess they don't do the Hall of Fame. If he went into Canton wearing a Bucks hat, you'd be like, who cares?
No, I would not say who cares. I would say, wow, it's surprising and definitely spiteful, but it would not change my feelings towards him. It wouldn't.
Then we're different.
Because of what we got to see, because we got to watch. I don't care in the end. It was all about the games. It was all about the wins.
Fine. I still have those wins.
Well, no, he's dead to you.
No. What's this?
I don't want to side with Whit here, but this is from Ray
Bork's quote.
Retirement when he retired as an Avalanche player. He said, "Despite his
I
long
am a
career,
Colorado Avalanche,
and I'm retiring as one, so it's only right that I've returned to Denver."
Eddie, what do you think? I mean,
I gotta read that whole thing. It's literally scroll up.
That was that was worse than my golf analogy. He didn't win a cup.
No, but what you're just saying, Whitney, it's like I still have those and it's great, but I don't care about the guy. That's what he's saying. I have the Super Bowls, but I don't care about the city. Well, I don't care about you either. We still have them. It was a business relationship.
I think you could be bummed out, like, damn, I'm bummed he didn't say anything about us, but angry. But
angry Eddie. Imagine what would you do for 6 Super Bowls, Eddie, in Chicago? You'd blow someone.
But it's a business relationship. That's what he made it, and that hurts.
I think, okay, not trying to say I was a professional athlete because I wasn't very good. You said maybe that is it, that I see that it's just always business. And as a diehard fan, you're upset. But just looking at what happened in that run, it's like I could give a fuck what he does. As long as he doesn't turn into a criminal or murder someone, it's like all day I root for Tom Brady. I love Tom Brady. But we're going to go around in circles here. I got to go. I got to talk.
You always have something.
I'm a busy man. I'm going to Vegas tonight to support the company. Go Barstool and fuck Austin Jenkins and TiVo.
It's a business relationship. That's fine. It is the pro athlete versus the fan. Like, he's part of Boston history. Like, that's how I view it. He's as a part of Boston as fucking Faneuil Hall and fucking, I don't know, Kennedy. Like, that's how I view it. He's our guy. And when he doesn't return it, it fucking hurts. I don't know how else to say it.
And that's how you deal with hurt. You get angry. So I guess that's just like different personalities. Like I said, I'd be bummed if
damn.
it's
like fuck you. Like, we didn't mean anything to you. And I know 2 years ago, that was an intentional thing he did. It wasn't an oversight. That was a carefully crafted fuck you. Now, is he planning something else? Maybe.
You're taking it from all ends today, huh?
Why?
You got the Reddit guys throwing blows.
Well, what
do
do you think of the Reddit thing? I mean, the Reddit thing, I don't know what they want. Because I go to a club.
Well, which point are you most stuck on? Because obviously we got into a lot, so that helps. Like, what's something he said?
Like, I don't think the entire argument of I pretend to be the common man. Do I?
Well, your shtick for a long time was that you're too rich for this shit. Like, deliver too many papers for that. So that's been for a long time. I don't necessarily think. No, I don't think so. I guess I don't think you try to pretend like you're a common man. I mean, you really can't. I mean, you are, but you can't. Like, I mean, look, you live in Miami half the year now. That's not what common people do.
I have 3 still, like, beautiful houses. Like, I've become rich and famous.
And I mean, listen, I do get his point.
I'm me, so I'm always going to say me. For what has been now afforded, I think I'm pretty fucking grounded. Like, I've never been a nice guy, I don't think. I've always kind of been a dick. I'm still a dick.
You're the same, but your surroundings have changed. Is that what you're saying? Yeah,
I can do more shit. Like, I remember going to live and paying fucking $25,000 for a table that I could afford once every 3 years.
Now, his point about, like, obviously content changing to being like, oh, electric chair, this. And I mean, I think you would agree, like, if you pack up and you went to Fun Spot, the arcade, and did like a video there, like an old school bro show, like, that's probably better, right? But you're saying it just doesn't pay the bills like they used to. Is that kind of what I'm gathering?
Yeah, I mean, the bro show, if you're going to look at that, the bro show took so much time that we dropped it before any of it. That's how the rundown came about. It's like, we can't spend this much time. We're doing too much stuff. But I don't have the time to do that. Like, I'm doing a lot of other fucking things. To go make those videos took a lot of fucking effort, a lot of work, and a lot of time. I'm doing a million different fucking things.
And then I think obviously once gambling came over, like that is your predominant focus now. So I don't know if you could be. I mean, I guess they could be disappointed by it, but at the end of the day, like that's what you wanted to do, right? You said it started out like that, and this is what it's going to be. But I could see people being like, that the gambling content's
I've
not for me.
always said, if someone paid me enough money, I would take it and vanish on a beach.
Yeah, you
I
have.
started this company to make money. We got bought by a gambling company. Luckily, it's something I love to do and I have always done. Clearly, that is where a big focus of mine is. That's why they invested in us. If somebody said, we'll give you $250 million to go do a weekly bro show, I'd do that. But that hasn't changed that this started as a business. It's why my name wasn't in it in the beginning. I never started this to make content myself or become famous. I started it to make money as a business and enjoy what I did for a living. And I would have been happy making 60 or 70 grand. This became bigger than my wildest dreams. And throughout the course of Barstool, I have morphed from doing things that I think help the company from a business perspective. I'm in a unique spot. I'm also content. Sometimes I have to put more weight towards business. Sometimes it's more towards content. It's whatever I think will make Barstool the most money in the end. That's how I make my decisions.
What do you think about his point about, being chief of content?
I mean, I've never been great at that, but that's from day one. Like when there was 5 people, Kevin and Dan would complain like I'm not in that. Chief of content to me means like final say, but we have other people certainly doing it. And to be honest, the chief of content, when you see it, I let people do whatever the fuck they want. Like that's what sort of makes us different. I've never told Kevin what he should do. I've never told Dan what he should do. I don't tell Caleb what, occasionally if I have an idea, but like we don't operate the same way other companies where an idea comes top down. We try to brainstorm, but pretty much everybody here is an entrepreneur. And I don't know what makes the best. Couldn't tell Jenna Marbles. I tried to tell her what to do. She started doing her old stuff. Huge star. I didn't come up with PMT. Fucking Dan and PFT did. Call her daddy. That's their idea. Like, we're different. We're just basically, as chief of content, boils down to, for us, a lot of ways, who do we support? Like, where do we put the resources that we can build up? But I've never told anybody like the content sucks. My job as chief of content is find new talent. That's like the most important thing. And we continually have found new talent. People think it's easy to find talent. No, it's not. I say our roster right now is stronger than it's ever been. Look at the people we have. Caleb, Roan, KB, Nick, obviously Big Cat KFC, 2 stars who've been here for fucking ever. I'm sure I'm forgetting. Brianna is another star. We lost Alice Cooper. We lost McAfee. What?
Rihanna?
Brianna.
Oh, Brianna. Oh, sorry.
Eddie, you guys, the Chicago guys, which was found. We have incredibly talented people. I think we have the most talented media company roster there is.
I guess that's where I'm interested, and I should have asked him this while he was here, is why do they get caught up in the people that they don't like? Because in retro, like you're grabbing futures tickets. Some of them have worked out. Some of them have not. I don't know why, like clearly, and I think they would agree with all the people you just named to a degree that they think they're either talented or successful, one or the other. So why do they get caught up in the people who maybe aren't panning out? That is, that kind of sours the whole feel on the whole
and operation. I don't even know who they mean. Like I look at the world differently. Like there's certain people who I think are key to the ecosystem of Barstool. Like the Smitty in the Game Time and Alex Bennett, who I think could be a star, and she's in things now. Not all pan out. And then you have people who are truly stars. Like, and we've created a lot of them. I'm a star. Dan's a star. Fucking Alice Cooper is a star. McAfee's a star. Jenna Marbles is a star. Who else has produced that from nothing? From like a company that was born out of nothing in this internet era. These are big names. And even the middle-eyed Eddie, people know who fucking you are. Bree is going to be a star. Like, you can't hit them all. You can't hit them all. Now, the only thing right now is me being in Miami, I'm disconnected. I get that. I've been doing this for 20 years, and I have thought about back and forth. It's like at some level, I should be able to do both. Like, enjoy my life. Like, the fact that he doesn't think I work is fucking bananas. I'm involved in everything.
Yeah, that was surprising because and I mean maybe they just don't fully know because you're not gonna tweet out like on a business meeting, but like obviously I see it like there's if it's not a piece of content, it's definitely behind the scenes this or that. So I don't.
And I hate that shit. I hate managing. I hate all of it. I hate negotiating contracts. I hate fucking all of it.
But then I guess to his point, why don't you just stop doing that? Why don't you just be a content guy? Like why don't you release the reins? Like why? And then you could still
to who?
I mean, I don't know. Find someone that you trust. We've
tried that. We've tried that.
But
and listen, there's people, as much as people don't think it, there's a lot of people who are here on the content side because they know I'm here. And I say that in a way that ultimately there's, pens involved, churns involved, who's ever involved, that my content team knows I have their back. And I have enough power, sway, and I always will, where I get my way. And I will always have my guys back when I feel it's right. And I take a guy like Caleb. And it's not always, people don't always see, like Francis we got rid of. I had to make a decision on that. But there's enough people here who trust my judgment when push comes to shove that I will make a decision they can live with, and they'll be here as long as they know that person has their back.
For sure.
And I do.
And I totally, and I agree with that. But there is an aspect where it could be like, you could be like, you have the board seat, you have the final say, where it's like you, and then
But so what do people want for content? And Dan, in a lot of ways, I feel like is sort of de facto content. People go to him, he talks to him, everyone likes him.
Yep.
But so what do people want that we don't have? Because you can do anything you want.
Yeah, well, I guess that's my whole thing. The question I asked earlier is like, I don't know why like people will get hung up on the people who are not doing great, or I don't know, like the dead weight really bothers them a lot. It seems.
And it's not only dead weight; it's like,
and that's just honestly
we are a talent business. So, and I don't know who you refer to necessarily as a dead weight person or who they're talking to. They work hard. I look at it like this: there's two components. One, if you have an athlete and he has a 90-mile-per-hour fastball, I can't lean on him and be like, throw 95. Some people just are what they are. Not everyone's Dan Katz. Not everyone is a fucking superstar. Mm-hmm. And that's a talent thing. Like, I don't care how much you want it. Some guys or girls can't do that. Rhea Fran, also two examples of big stars. Casey's gone. They all are. But so not everybody can be a big star. And two, I really look at this, what you put in, that painting that I still have in the office in New York, the guy pouring the shit into the star, you get in what you put out of this. Like, everybody here is now contracted, whatever. If you hit it big and your contract runs out, you can go get a huge contract somewhere else. I'm not going to babysit and be like, hey, you got to do this, you got to do that. If you're happy with what you're doing and you think you work hard enough, and it's a factor of how much you make, I look at it. If someone's starting to make a lot of money, wants a lot of money, we look at output. And people are making real money.
Yeah, I don't I mean,
but like, what can I do? What do they want me to do with, like, I don't know how it's insulting. Who is a dead weight guy? Like, honestly. And everything varies. Alex Cooper's the perfect example. Not everyone's treated the same. They did the one podcast per week. They never came to the office. They didn't listen to anything I said. And I let them do whatever the fuck they want because they were King Kong. That's just how it is.
Yeah. I think another thing too. Well, actually, this is very topical. Talking about this, I mean, I think we also have someone in like an upper management role leaving, right?
Yes.
So that's how much can you say on that?
So, well, you said it, but Jen Simons is leaving. Is that?
Yes.
And that'll be hard. So, you people want an example? I found that out yesterday. And she handles a lot of kind of the minutia and scheduling and programming. And I texted Erica when she said it. She told me, I'm like, oh, that sucks. It's like, what do you need me to do? I can be like, I'll fill her role till it's like done. And there's a lot of things that come up like that during the course of running a business. But I will say, and I've said this a lot because someone else left not too recently. Mikey Podcast.
Yeah.
So we're losing. That's the nature of a business. My guys generally don't leave, or girls, unless they get a fucking home run like Alex Cooper. Like, and she still wanted to stay, but we weren't going to pay $60 million. You know, very rarely do we lose people on our end because and I'm not a good manager. I don't do it. I've never been good at that. But what you know you're getting from me is generally obscene loyalty. Generally.
Mm-hmm. So is that like, so we're looking to fill that position that I got, head of production. Is that's correct?
Yeah, she's been with us for a while,
Mm-hmm.
and we always lose people. It's the nature of now. You know, that's been one of the hardest things for me as we've grown, and I feel like I've gotten better. I always have to look like, okay, this is a job to some people. It's my life. I think it's Kevin's life. It's Dan's life. K. Marco, I still owe him more conversation. But the Chicago guys, like early Barstool was a family. That's probably why I was so upset with Bubbly Gang. Like, and you know, it really wasn't viewed. I just knew there was undying loyalty. I didn't have to worry about anything. As you get older, you got to put yourself in other people's shoes because it is different. And it's probably why I get so upset at times. Like, if you go back to like the TJ thing, I mean, he doesn't really know me, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I haven't talked to him that much. But when people say things and that whole BLM and all the shit that went down, I took it very personally. But that's an adjustment for me.
Did we get too big?
No, because people are making I always see guesses, like how much do people think Barstool people make? We pay well, real well.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do that unless you make business decisions. I mean, you're not hiring Call Her Daddy or taking shots on these other people without money to pay the bills. And Erica has been, you know, spectacular in the way she's defended the company, grown the company, all that shit. So it all works together. I think we have done truly, which is why, like the Reddit, an incredible job of growing to the size that we've grown while still keeping a decent amount of that original DNA. And frankly, as long as I'm here and Dan's here and Kevin's here and you guys are there and these people, Gaz doesn't count, he's out, that DNA will always be in the company. How many other companies do you look around who have had the same main cast for as long as we have? It's pretty incredible.
Yeah. And I do think there's an element too where this whole like message board, Reddit culture, whatever, where people aren't even consuming a lot of the content anymore. Because I know I've definitely been guilty of it, of like, you know, whatever, like watching like a Rogan or a Simmons thing and like checking out their Reddit beforehand. And I don't think those people are even listening and forming their own opinion. They're reading other ones and they're forming it based on that. Do you know what I mean? And I see that happen in ours a lot too. So.
Totally. Yeah. And I mean, this isn't a new phenomenon. I mean,
yeah.
This has been going on since Barstool started, and we had the message board, which was like the Wild West, and then versus the comment section. We had to shut down the comment sections and things like that. So I personally have been criticized forever, and I've done this. I've been like, what are you guys so mad about? Like, you know, all you do is criticize. So I give that guy credit for going on, but this whole Dave's changed, and Dave's, of course I've changed. I've been doing it for 20 years. I couldn't afford fucking ramen noodles when I started. Now I've made more money than my wildest dreams, and this has become bigger than my wildest dreams, and I'm afforded opportunities and meet people bigger than my wildest dreams. Yes, my life has changed, no doubt.
You're able to afford Felix Gray glasses, right? So
I am.
That's a positive.
I can't believe Whitney. Has anything new developed on this?
He did make a video. I don't know if you saw it.
Brady?
No. Whitney.
Oh.
But I don't think anything has happened in terms of him. Brady.
I mean, Whitney's point of what do you care? You have the six Super Bowls. Yeah, we do. I'm not giving those back. He has them. It's just, he made this about business. And to me, he's, like I said, part of the city forever. But if he doesn't feel that way about us, it's tough to do it. Yes, I wear these all the time. I'm not wearing them right now. Felix Gray glasses. Blue light, I'll probably be twitching tonight because I didn't read them. Blue light glasses that started all. 5 years ago, Felix Gray set out to create eyewear that would improve daily screen time. Since then, Felix Gray has been on a mission to create a better relationship with technology. Felix Gray lenses filter 15 times more blue light that can make screen time tough on eyes and disruptive to sleep. Facts. Non-prescription and prescription available. Check them out now. FelixGrayGlasses.com/Dave. That's FelixGrayGlasses.com/Dave. Free shipping, free returns, free exchanges. FelixGrayGlasses.com/Dave. Start the new year off right with Felix Gray. Use the code FelixGrayGlasses.com/Dave. I usually wear the Robles. I don't know where I put them. That's the issue.
Somewhere around there. All right, let's do a couple more things. We're running long. How about the Business Insider guy looking for salaries, and then he wouldn't give up his own?
It's unbelievable. He's involved. I tweeted something that some people maybe didn't get this morning. It's like Henry Blodgett, the CEO, liked a comment of this writer who has hated us for so long.
Yeah.
It's such a tight circle. It's incredible of this Business Insider and the writers that over the years have hated us. They should be in jail. They have done enough research on me and found nothing. The fact they're still going, I told this earlier. I heard a story, I was with Elio's always bad luck. A girl from my past, she's like, they're harassing me. Like, called her grandmother, called her at her work. She's like, they want me to basically lie. She's like, I didn't do it, but like, what is going on? It's crazy. So that's still coming, no doubt.
Yeah, it was just so funny. Fun question. And then it went pretty viral.
I wish somebody would just do what they're doing to me to them. Really.
Why don't you get someone to do that?
Write the article?
Yeah. I mean, you have a platform.
Yeah. Maybe.
I
do it. It's like the Morning Brew guys. Like, they're always like, bro. Like, I guarantee you, if I go pick each one of you and do the research that I'm doing, you're going to come out 100 times worse than I do. I should do it just to fuck with them.
Get some of these guys that you might think need something to do around here. Start, get the little notebook out and.
Well, we don't have anybody capable of doing that type of research.
What's up with the Bitcoin? You bought $1 million worth of Bitcoin?
I did. Fucked around, bought some. It crashed. So I figure it's time to have it just long term. So yeah, I bought it.
And
I got to get DDTG going. I got to get a little money. I like doing it. I can't do it when I can't invest in anything. So that's the first free money I've had in a while.
Yeah, I thought you weren't pretty liquid. You're back to being a little liquid?
Tiny bit.
Tiny bit?
Yeah.
What's the Mean Girl update?
I think they tried to start their own podcast, and that's an example. Like, Alex asked me, he's like, can we do the Mean Girl podcast? I'm like, do it. Like, I say to a lot of people, do it. If it seems to be catching on and getting momentum, we'll put our weight marketing material behind it. But if you think it can work, try it.
And then your Kirk appearance, how was that? A lot of yelling, blind mic.
I like going on Kirk because, as I said on the show, I know I can empty the clip on him. Like, he's not going to take anything personal. We can scream at each other. I disagree wholeheartedly. Half the time, I think he knows he's wrong, but he's just creating the fight. I stand by my side. Everyone's saying I look weak and Alex dominated me, but that, again, could be the Reddit. She was a mean girl, period. Like, what she did was super mean. It just was. So I stand by my entire side. It was a headache I didn't want to have, and I think 95% of the people at the company who have been here for two weeks, if I'm like, hey, I know this person, so let's just not trash it and delete something, they'd be like, yeah, fine, no problem. She made it into a huge thing. Hopefully she can use it as a springboard to more success or more eyeballs.
was I remember, but I think people's point is, I mean, your point with your fight with her over if it was mean or not, like that's one thing, but I think everyone was just like, well, why do you care about this girl so much?
It's not even caring. It's, as I've said, I think people think I'm like great friends with her. I see her a lot when I go out, and I talk to her like small talk, hello. She texts. I know her well enough. She had my cell phone number to text me and be like, hey, this is weird. You're talking about something 3 years ago. Can you take it down? That, to me, is a headache I'd rather not have. I got her point. It wasn't something like, oh, no, this is fair game. It's like, she's right. This is fucking Alex was being a mean girl. It's just, that's a headache, an easy solution. Hey, Alex, take this down. No one really cares. So it should have been a non-issue in my mind. Now, Alex dug her heels in, and it became an issue, but I don't agree with her. Like, I don't recall anybody doing that, like going onto somebody's comments and being like photoshopped. I legitimately, I don't know if it's a girl guy thing, because every guy I've talked to is like, of course it's fucking mean. Like Elio was here, he's like, that's crazy that she was doing it. It was nuts, it's mean. So yes, I thought she had a point, and that's not the first and won't be the last. Somebody asked me that favor, and it's like, all right, it was such a not big deal. Hey Alex, can you take this down? Click down, done.
And then a lot of people thought it was because Silvana told you to do it.
Which is lunacy. Like, she got dragged for that. The story of how the only reason, it would have happened either way. The way I told the story, which is the truth, Silvana likes Alex, watches her content, was watching it. I saw the video, and I'm like, oh, this is going to be awkward. When I saw they were talking about Danielle, who I knew. I didn't do anything then. I didn't call her then. The next day, I got a text from Danielle. Danielle doesn't even have Silvana's number. She had nothing to do with it. Danielle texted me. She's like, this is weird. Can you take it down? That's when I did it. Silvana if Danielle never texted me, I never would have asked. It literally had nothing to do with Silvana. And Danielle texted me irregardless. So it just had, the only difference would have been when she first texted me, I'd been like, what are you talking about? But I knew because I had seen it. But it had nothing to do with her.
Yeah, I just think it was those three things that people really went in on you on. Was that they thought Silvana told you to do it.
Nothing to do with it.
And then
nothing.
B, that you would ask it all, like why, what was the point? And you just said you just don't want the headache, who cares? And then 3 was the email that said you can't be mean anymore.
Which was separate.
Yes, and I think a lot of people intertwined the points. There were 2 arguments in there. A lot of people got confused. The main
we are in and when you want to talk about Barstool changing, that's the business side. Not everybody is built like fucking me, all right? Not everyone has a bulletproof vest on, and nothing is said. Some people are more sensitive. I've seen it happen with us in the past where things spiral out, and I'm trying to stop it. And it's good for everybody to stop it. I never tried to be mean, and I don't want the entire company ganging up on somebody.
You just think it's not good for if the person involved can take it, you're fine with it. If not, if you think, hey, maybe like you want to call off the dogs.
I've said it before. I've said it to Smitty when he couldn't take that like thing in the shower. I'm like, oh, I thought you could take that. If you can't take that type of joke, I'm gonna stop like throwing shots at you.
Mm-hmm. So it's a depends on the situation kind of thing.
And it was again, I don't mind 1-on-1 fights, 5-on-5 fights. I do mind entire company on one. Mean-spirited from my perspective.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, speaking of Smitty, I'm not. Are you all caught up on that whole game time thing?
I just laugh because he makes me laugh, but he gets so mad. MRags, I think, is handling himself well from one of the videos I've seen.
What you said? So you have Kareem. You have some news about that game time?
You know what it is.
What's that?
There's just a rumor going around that Smitty and MRags had a closed-door meeting, and MRags started crying from what Smitty told him. And I guess now they squashed it and everything's fine.
It's an emotional situation.
Yeah.
Tears.
Yeah. I mean, listen. That's a lot. MRags, but he's been here for what? 8 months, maybe a year. That's a lot to go through. So, it is what it is. How'd Louisiana launch do?
I don't know.
Not sure. It looks like Ben Mintz. We have Kareem had a screenshot he wanted to share. Did you see this yet, Dave?
There we go.
Ben
Vince's
Mintz.
Facebook post.
On Facebook, I realize how much competition there is for sports gambling in Louisiana. Our competitors have been jamming it down your throats for months. We aren't corporate and are for the common man. You all
Love
know
it.
me well.
I read it. I love it. Listen, he's the king. He's the king of Louisiana. We got him and Megan making money, so it's a big launch, and Mincy's doing his job. I appreciate that.
And last thing, last thing, Bench Mob's doing a 3-on-3 tournament. You going to play?
Like a Barstool tournament?
Yeah, basketball.
No, dude, my shoulder, I can't even move. I need shoulder surgery again. Like, I know people think I'm joking about it. I take aspirin every night before I go to sleep because I can't even sleep on it.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
All right, what's the Super Bowl plan?
So we're doing 4 to 7 every day. I got to figure out the programming exactly. 4 to 7 every day at Saddle Ranch in LA. I believe it's going to be the Yak from 4 to 6, and then 6 to 7 version of BFF.
Nice.
We just got to clarify that.
And then obviously the Dozens on Wednesday.
Yep.
Fran and Rhea are doing a show on Thursday.
Yep.
Is there
Lots
anything?
of stuff we'll put out, and then the Super Bowl we're going to live stream from Louisiana.
Perfect. All right. So look out for that Super Bowl week in LA. Anything else, Dave?
No. That was a good show.
Yeah. All right. Good. I'm glad you liked it. Thanks everybody for listening. That's it for this week. We'll see you next week in LA.